Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Troller. 1972 to 1975.
Game 196, Mets at Cardinals.
Welcome back, baseball fans. 1972-75 carryover league. We're in the National League. We got a best-of-5 series between the New York Mets and the St. Louis Cardinals today. Teams that, well, last year, the Mets missed the playoffs, and the Cardinals almost got into the playoffs. They both missed the playoffs. They both finished in third. Cardinals fought valiantly, overachieving. Mets underachieving. They collide this year, and let's just show you what's happened. It's no need to delay what's going on here. We open up in Shea Stadium with Bob Gibson versus Harry Parker, number 4 starter. If you're wondering why the ace on one team versus the number 4 of the other team, it's just how the schedule falls when one team plays the maximum number of games and the other teams get day offs because of sweeps or shortened series. So that kind of overlap is part of the fun of the league. You don't get your, obvious ones versus ones, twos versus twos, threes versus threes. Sort of like the way the regular Major League Baseball is. They just don't always line up like that, nice and neatly. Anyway, Bob Gibson versus Harry Parker, who does a nice job today. Harry goes 7 innings, getting up 6 hits and 3 runs. But it starts off poorly when Lou Brock triples, and then Ted Simmons, it's a 2-run homer. Then we have a Mike Phillips triple in the 5th. He scores on the ground ball. Gibson's going into the 9th with a shutout, gives up a homer to John Milner. Then with 2 outs, a couple singles, Gibson can't quite secure the shutout nor the complete game, so Al Rabowski comes in to get the final out. It is a 3-1 victory for the visiting St. Louis Cardinals. So let's see what happens in Game 2. Do the Mets get a victory to even the series in Game 2? Game 2, it's John Curtis for the Cardinals, Tom Seaver for the Mets. This is scoreless until the 5th. There's a double by Reggie Smith, a couple outs, and then right here, Mike Phillips, homer 1-7 off the Seaver card, gets it. Mike Phillips had 1 homer in 104 at-bats, and they gave him power, folks. They gave him power. I didn't give him power. Strat-O-Matic did. And Tom Seaver is confused to see the ball fly over the wall there, and that gives the Cardinals a 2-0 lead. But the Mets, they have a nice 6th inning here. Finally getting to John Curtis. Double, single, Lee Lacy RBI single there. Critical error by their shortstop, Mike Phillips, a 3-48. More on the shortstops in a bit. And then in the 7th inning, single with 2 outs. Rusty Staub, 3-run homer. It's academic. Mets win this game 6-2. By the way, Lou Brock got caught stealing by Grody there, and got caught stealing by Jerry Grody there. Mets get a split. Let's see what happens in Game 3. Now we are in Busch Stadium in St. Louis. It's John Matlack for the Mets. It's Scipio Spinks for the Cardinals. Mets get an early start. You get a double RBI single by Tony See You Later in the 1st. They get the Spinks again in the 3rd. In an otherwise decent start. A single walk single, and then a double by Staub. A ground out, scoring a run, playing back instead of playing it up on a ground ball B. Hoping for a double play in that situation, I think. In any event, I can't remember how that happened. But anyway, it's 4 runs. The John Matlack is like the John Matlack of old. He does surrender a homer here in the 4th. But let me just tell you something, folks. You get a 4-0 lead, and the Cardinals want to come back. You get a single, ground ball to Bud Harrelson, double play. 3rd inning, you get a single, ground ball, Bud Harrelson double play. See, that's how you stay on top if you're the Mets. You know, I mean, you may not be statistically the 20th, the 20-man roster might not be one of the best in baseball. But if you have Seaver, Matlack, Kuzman, and Bud Harrelson, you can go pretty far. 4-1 game. They had a run in the ninth. Matlack goes 8 in the third. Then he gives up a single and a two-run homer to Bill Sadakis. And then finally, we see Tug McGraw for the first time in the series. He closes it out after a walk. Mets get a road win, retake home field for a Game 4. Lou Brock went 0 in this game, and he got caught stealing twice in the previous game. So he's going to take the day off in Game 4 against a lefty. And that would be today's matchup. For the Mets, it's Jerry Kuzman. Really dominates lefties with this card of 73. A 14-game winner, a 15-game loser inexplicably with a 284 earned run average. And he will deal with Bob Gibson on short rest. Bob's last really brilliant year in 1972. 1911, 246 ERA in 278 innings. If it seemed like the end was near in 1970 and 1971, it was not, because Gibson delivers a heck of a 72, and he'll pitch all the way to, I believe, 75, with lesser effective cards, as you can imagine. The Cardinals has said, you know what? We're going to put all our left-handed batters on the bench today. That's Bate McBride, Lou Brock, and Mike Diamond Phillips against Kuzman. So they're going to load up with all righties, hoping that's the elixir to get this Cardinal offense started. Here we are, Mets cards, top of the first, leading off. It's Wayne Garrett, 67 is a K. Gil Garrido, 55. Short X, it's Mike Tyson, 340. Thanks to play. And Tony Soleta rolls a second. Bottom of 1, it's Don Buford. Let go by Baltimore. Given up on by Baltimore. He strikes out. Buford is basically Lou Brock's caddy out in left field, as he's a better defensive player. And he gets a start today. Batting second, just to get on base, is Reggie Smith. His high on base percentage. 2.6 is a single. Joe Torre, 58. Short X and right on cue. You can't avoid that, folks. Death, taxes, and Bud Harrelson ending an inning with a double play. Top of the second, it's John Milner, 34, pitcher. Lee Lacy, the center fielder, ouch, for the Mets. 35's a walk. Rusty Staub, batting sixth against righties. He's just not that great against righties. Better against lefties. 4-4 off Gibson. His homer 1-5 double. It'll be a two-bagger. Lee Lacy, 14 runner. Reggie Smith's got a -4 in center field. He jams on the brakes. Going to bring the infield up. This could be a low-scoring affair. Dave Marshall. 2-9, he walks. And the bases are loaded for Jerry Grody to the max. Here's the pitch. 62 off Gibson is right X. And ouch moment here. So, yeah, well, Bill Sadakis is out there. He's got his glove, we think. Wearing a protective helmet. Let's see what happens. He's a 4-16 in right field. And it's a single dot. Yeah. And frankly, folks, your other option, of course, would have been Lou Brock, was a 4-11. McBride's sitting. He could have been in center field. And Reggie Smith could have been in right field with Buford in left field. That would have prevented something like that from happening. It's a 2-run single. On the corners, infield will come up for Bud Harrelson. 49, double one off the Gibson card as another single dot. And Gibson is kind of ticked off the bad defense that's enabled this inning. Now you got runners on the corners with one out. Still bring it up for Wayne Garrett. 37, that's a walk. Bases are loaded. Garrido still up. You can get a 4-2-3 double play here. 1-8. Let's take a look at this guy. Gil Garrido. What a nice little card. This is really... He was a Brave, too, by the way. The Braves could have certainly used his defense. Just an extra player in 72 with a 267 average. But plenty of walks. Very nice split. You could use him full-time. B-hitting runner. a 3 at second, a 3 at third. So when Garrett's not playing third, he plays there. And when Lee Lacy's not playing second like today, because we moved him into center field to get another DH in there, yeah, Garrido could play second and third. 1-8 here is double one, single dot dot, and this is not working out very well at all. That's a 2-run single, by the way. For Bob Gibson and company. It's getting ugly here. It's runners in the corners still with 1 out, and it's Tony C. Aleda. 1-2. With the infield up, is a 5-2 gun down at the plate. That's nice. That helped. Now I got first and second with 2 outs as they bat around. It'll be John Milner. 2-6 is a grounder to short. Bob Gibson still miffed at his bad defensive play there in that inning. Down 5-zip, Jerry Koosman and company. And look, it's not like the Mets have fantastic defense. It's really just Bud Harrelson. The rest of this defense is marginal, really. Here is Bill Sadakis, 47 Ks. Swings and misses, and here's a round of boos from the fans who expect more homers out of that card. Ted Simmons, 42, rolls to the pitcher. And Jim Hart, 1-8, flies to left. Top of the third, it's Lee Lacy, 56. Strikes out. Rusty Staub, 2-5, short. And Dave Marshall, 2-9, walks again. Jerry Grody, 63, Ks. Mike Tyson, 37, Ks. Sizemore, 35, center. John Kennedy, 311, flies to right. Top of the fourth, it's Bud Harrelson. 2-7, Ks. Back up top to Wayne Garrett, 611. First X. You've got Joe Torre's a 313 there. Makes the play. Gil Garrido, 63. Ks. Gibson rights the ship a bit. Bottom of the fourth, it's Don Buford, 59, second C. Reggie Smith, 5'10", catcher's X. You have Grody's at 2E6. Makes the play. Joe Torre, 38, rolls the third. Into the fifth we go. It's going to be Tony Saleta, 68, pops to short. John Milner, 62, pitcher. Lee Lacy, 48, is a walk, and with 2 outs. Rusty Staub, 2-9, liner to short. 5-0 Mets lead on the road in Busch. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
Okay, Cardinals got to get something going here. They got the win in game 1, making their move off of a questionably talented Mets team, but the Mets have shown that they win. They know how to win this year for whatever reason. It'll be Sadakis again. 2-9. He misses another homer column with a roller to short. Ted Simmons, 2-11. Pops to short. Jim Hart, 69. Skies to center field. The Cardinals could not hit a pig in the snout with a tennis racket, folks. This is terrible. Their boo birds are coming out here. They were good in game 1 with a 3-0 victory, and then after that, nothing in this series whatsoever. As we go to the 6th inning, it'll be Dave Marshall. 37 is a K. Jerry Grody, 69 center. And Bud Harrelson, 112 Lomax. And the Mets have just the gift inning here and nothing else either, off of befuddled Bob Gibson. Of course, Bob did get a win in this series in game 1, so we should be happy with that. Bottom of the 6th, you got Koosman throwing a one-hitter after Seaver and Matlack took complete game attempts into the 9th inning. Oh, Seaver got his. Matlack missed his by a couple outs. Koosman's a starter 8. You have to think he'll go that far. The Mets bullpen is asleep this year. The fewest innings of any staff in baseball, as you can imagine. Maybe that's why their Mets are playing so well. Mike Tyson, 68, flies to right. Ted Sizemore, 56, double 1 of 10, base hit. John Kennedy, 68. Keep rolling 8s, 9s. That's not going to work against Kuzman. And Buford, 112. A roller to short. My goodness. 2-hitter Jerry Kuzman into the 7th. Gibson's a starter 9. There's no reason whatsoever to take him out. Wayne Garrett pops to 2nd. Garrido, 2-6. Rolls to 3rd. Tony Salado, 1-3. Rolls to short. The Mets they're content just to stick with what they have. You going to take a hit? Nah, they're staying. They're just going to stay with the 5. That's good enough. Before the bottom of the inning, they're going to improve the defense. Don Hahn will come over in center field for Lee Lacy to help Kuzman. Bottom of the 7th here in St. Louis, stretch time. Music we have been enjoying, folks. The Ann Peebles 1974. She can't stand the rain. She can't stand it. Hates it. Can't Stand the Rain LP by the wonderful Ann Peebles. Fantastic LP here. High record label. Great era. Wonderful LP by Ann Peebles here. Bottom of the 7th. Jerry Kuzman's thrown like 73 pitches. And it'll be Reggie Smith leading off. Down 5. Cardinals got to make a stand this year, man. It's going to be their season. I mean, they're in a real tough division. You're playing like doo-doo. Reggie Smith, 56 off of Kuzman. There it is. Double 1 of 10, a base hit. First hit off the Kuzman card. Reggie Smith's having a nice year. Nobody else really is. Joe Torre, 411, left X. You have 3E9 in left field. And that's a double off Marshall. See, they do have weaknesses defensively. 2nd and 3rd, and here he is, Bill Sadakis. Let's take a look at the card before he swings, folks. You got to look at this thing. Bill freaking Sadakis, a prize free agent signed by the Cardinals in their Mark McGwire moment, I guess, with homers on 5, and 6, and 7, and 9, and 12, and a 4 chance on 7. That's a lot of homer chances, folks, if you're wondering. Had 15 of them in 235 at-bats. Would have hit about 84, 85 homers. He played a full season, maybe. Maybe not. Anyway, 2nd, 3rd, nobody out. Here's the pitch to Bill Sadakis. 69. Well, it's a sac fly. Baby steps, folks. Baby steps. It's 5-1. Runner at 2nd, 1 out. Ted Simmons. 43. First X. Soleta. A 3-14 at first. Makes the play. And with 2 outs, the man goes to 3rd for Jim Hart. 46 is a walk. On the corners, 2 outs. It's Mike Tyson. 36 skies the center field. Oh, Kuzman bears down in his most difficult inning there. 5-1 game. Shoot, you could bring in Tub McGraw to get 6 outs with a 4-run lead. Before that happens, Gibson takes the mound in the top of the 8th. It's John Milner. 45, triple 1 of 5 off Gibson is a triple. Oh boy. The infield comes up for Don Hahn. 68 is a K. Got to prevent this run from scoring. Infield up. No sac flies here. Rusty Staub. 69 is the center field B off the Gibson card. Sac fly. Tough break. All because he hits a triple 1 to 5 chance. And now it's 6-1. 2 outs. Dave Marshall. 47 is a walk. Jerry Grody. 56 is a K. Bottom of the 8th. Kuzman. Breaking inning. We'll leave him in there. He's got a 5-run lead. It's Ted Sizemore. 35 center. John Kennedy. 67 left. And Don Buford T. Justice, 48, is a roller to second base. This is Garrido, a 3E8 at second base. He makes the play. Well, Gibson's going to go out in the 9th inning because he's Bob Gibson, and now we're about selling tickets. I guess Lou Brock will have to bat in the 9th inning somewhere. Don't know who he'd be pinch hitting for against the left with Kuzman still in there. Maybe if they go to a ready reliever somehow, he'll get him in the game. Bud Harrelson. 2-7 for Bud is a K. Wayne Garrett. 210 is a fly ball to center field. And Garrido, 55, short X. And Tyson is a 3E40, and the inning is over. And that's your day for Bob Gibson. 6-1, bottom of the ninth. Koosman. He got a reprieve on the point of weakness with a 3 up, 3 down in eighth. You got to break him to get him out of there. Is how I'll play this. Reggie Smith has had one of the best days. He's got 2 hits. He'll lead off. 410, lines of first. Well, we're running out of time, folks. Let's show you some cards. Here's Joe Torre. Now he hit 366 in 71, and I'll never do that again. But in 73, he's hitting 287 with 13 home runs, and he splits time on the corners, no shin guards. He's a 4 at third, so they play him at first where he's a 3. Here's the pitch to Joe. 6-12, first C, and with 2 outs, you saw Sadaka's card earlier. He does have the RBI in this game, and here's the pitch. 6-10, center X. We brought in that defensive placement. Hahn is a 2E4 in center. 2. But they get a single off a 2 center fielder. Big break for the Cardinals. Can they make it? Can they make it work here? Ted Simmons, let's take a look at him. Again, these Cardinals, they have improved a lot of this roster in the draft. They got Bob Forsch. They got Al Rabowski. They got monster cards out of Big McBride and Ted Simmons. Here Simmons hits 332 with 18 homers and 75, his highest batting average of his career. He is the last gasp for the Cardinals for this series and maybe this season. They are just playing like doo-doo. Here's the pitch to Simba, Ted Simmons. 37 is a walk, and we are still alive. And just like we've seen this pattern, guys trying to finish. Gibson couldn't get his complete game in Game 1. Matlack couldn't get his complete game in Game 2. And now you got Jim Hart, and I'm not even going to consider it. I'm just going to do it right here. I'm going to take Jerry Koosman out after 8 2/3 with a 5-run lead. You don't mess around with stuff like this, folks. Not necessarily a safe situation for Tug McGraw, but he's coming in anyway. This man can get it out. I don't know who can. In the 9th inning. Back-breaking moment for the Cardinals to see the tugboat on the mound. You almost want to... here you go. Here's your Lou Brock moment, right? Yeah. So, in a reverse platoon, Lou Brock is going to pinch hit. Lefty-lefty. Let's take a look at Lou Brock's 1974 AAA 118 stolen base card. Normally he leads off. We gave him the day off today against Koosman because he's been struggling. Also, he's been caught stealing a number of times this year as a AAA. But here we want him to get on base in the 9th. Tug McGraw to Lou Brock. Here is the pitch. 53 is a slow roller to first base, and that is your ball game and series. To a cascade of boos of the Cardinal fans. We'll take this right to the end here, folks. 6-1 final. New York Mets lose Game 1 at home, then rip off 3 straight wins, and they're in fantastic shape in the National League. We'll show you that. Poor Bob Gibson threw a 5-hitter, yet 6 guys scored. That's all earned there. Everything's earned. Walked 6. Struck out 9, got a complete game. Bizarre line there. McGraw got the final out, denying a complete game for Koosman, who picks up the win. 5 hits, the 1 run on the sac fly, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. 1019. That's a loss there. 1019-0109 6515 6923-2369. Tough. Really tough situation for the St. Louis Cardinals. I do not like their chances just because their division is the division of brutality. It's just the gauntlet. I mean, you're in the same division with the Reds, the Pirates, and a Cubs team that's fantastic. And the Cardinals are great. I mean, really, all 4 teams can't go to the playoffs based on the format, but all have built their teams for that purpose. Oh, the Cardinals now are 4-8 early on. They just have to get red hot to get back in the National League. There you go. They're hitting .232, which is 100 points below Ted Simmons' batting average, for instance. They got a .431 ERA. That's just not going to play, folks. Bob Gibson's 1-3. 31 innings, 31 hits, 30 strikeouts, 20 runs allowed for Bob. Yeah, just struggling. No power on this team. You got 3 homers for Sudeikis. Only 4 guys have hit home runs for this team. Let's move on. The Mets. Mets are flexing, they're playing the front runner. They're playing the blazing start. No one's going to catch us. Good luck with that. I think they did the same thing last year and they got caught. And they might get caught again this year. They've got a gaudy 8-3 record. But what is the foundation that gaudy record is built upon? Can they survive the whole year and finish and make the playoffs? They're hitting .267 with a .306 earned run average. Again, I mentioned the bullpen's not being used. Siakas has pitched 2 innings this year in 11 games. But Seaver, he's 3-0. Kuzman's 3-0. Matlack is uncharacteristically 1-2. Because he has played with that card fantastically. Not a lot of power here. Batting average is not really particularly exciting there. But here's the big picture, folks. We'll start here. So, this whole division is up for grabs, right? Because they keep beating each other up early on. And they're very competitive. But the Cardinals, you're making it hard on yourself. I mean, it's certainly attainable to get up there, but it's a lot of bodies to crawl over, I mean, you figure 1, 2, or 3 of these teams are going to make a run there. So, but look here at the Mets. Yeah, they're 8-3, folks, in a National League where everybody's beating everybody up. Look at the winning percentages. Nobody's really awful, except, the Cardinals now are. You see, there's not below 40% anywhere. The Dodgers having a horrible start. Out of all the muck in the National League, the Giants are 9-4. Everybody else is right around 500, except the Mets. So the Mets and Giants are having a great start to the season. National League is just 3 over 500. There's the American League, 87-90. Net zero there. So, yeah, early on, Mets are looking fantastic in the East. That's based on scheduling. They went from a first-place schedule to a third-place schedule. So they have played. Take a look at this. Got to look at the schedule here. Here's your Mets schedule. Played Colorado, they played Seattle, and they played what you just saw, a bad Cardinals team suddenly. So they finished with their division. It's right in front of the Mets. The tough Braves, the tough Phillies, and the easy Marlins. The next 2 series, Mets need to tread water there. If they can split the next 2 series, they're probably in line for a playoff spot. And that's it today. Break up the New York Mets. They take 3 out of 4 from St. Louis, and we'll see you next time.